Now to that disturbing discovery of human remains used as decorations in a Mount Washington home. You've been talking about this story, especially the charges.
Tonight, WHAS11 News is looking at the charges placed against James Knott and why state laws are different when it comes to this type of horrific discovery. It's the big story we've been following for the last 24 hours. All of this unfolding in the 300 block of Love Avenue in Mount Washington. Detectives say they busted a stolen body parts ring and found more than 40 different human remains, including skulls, spinal cords, and hip bones. Some of the remains were being used as home decorations.
Take a look. James Knott, who you see right here, was arrested and charged with unlawful possession of a firearm. Documents say agents found an AK-47 rifle near his bed, along with a .38 caliber revolver, several loaded and unloaded magazines, extra ammunition, grenades, and body armor.
WHAS11's Travis Breeze today talked to one attorney involved in the case of a local funeral home operator who recently pleaded guilty to 40 counts of theft charges involving the mishandling of bodies. And Travis, what did he say today about this case?
Yeah, Doug, these cases are very different, but they're also kind of similar, talking about the Randy Lankford case, which got a lot of notoriety over the last couple months. He was not charged under Indiana's abuse of corpse law. Kentucky has a broader abuse of corpse law, but at this moment, James Knott has only been charged with a federal firearms crime. Attorney Larry Wilder in Jeffersonville says there is no federal crime for having bones or body parts in your house, and many states are very specific about how they regulate it. Former morgue manager at the Harvard Medical School, Cedric Lodge, is also a part of this case, and he was charged for theft because he technically stole the body parts and sent them across state lines, but it would have been the same crime for stealing anything else. And since Knott was simply storing and selling the remains, that itself did not constitute a crime, no matter how disturbing it may have seemed.
You and I and a whole lot of other people look at it and go, well, damn, that should be a crime. But when you look at it in the totality of all of the circumstances, legislatures across the country have struggled to figure out how to define crimes related to bodies.
The Kentucky abuse of corpse law covers anyone who, quote, treats a corpse in a way that would outrage ordinary family sensibilities. Wilder says to prove that, local attorneys would have to prove that Knott had a corpse, specifically in his house, and that he was keeping it in an unreasonable way. We have not gotten a comment back from the Bullitt County Commonwealth's attorney, but Knott is facing up to 10 years in prison for the federal gun charge. In the studio, Travis Breeze, WHAS 11 on your side.
All right, Travis, now taking a closer look. This isn't the first time officers made a shocking discovery in Knott's home. According to court documents, in 2011, Kentucky State Police found the makings of a homemade bomb in that house. He was pulled over by Meade County Police for driving under the influence, and once he was arrested, he admitted he had explosives at his house. He also admitted to investigators he was a neo-Nazi anarchist in a race war. While executing a search warrant, deputies found detonation cords, fuses, and grenades. Knott admitted to making explosives and his intention to make more. He was also found with a loaded rifle and a sniper suit. Court records show he took a plea deal for federal firearm charges, but he broke parole in 2013, so he was sentenced to 9 months in prison.
Another story we're following closely for you tonight. A Bullitt County Central High School employee has been moved to administrative duties while an ongoing police investigation looks into allegations against him. Shepherdsville police say 4 women who were former students have now come forward. According to police, the incidents happened between 2013 and 2015, but were not reported until now. The former female students claim the teacher invited them to his home and on camping trips after graduation. But according to the high school, that does not violate any Bullitt County Central policies. With the allegations of the former students and the evidence they have provided, the school says they are reviewing the teacher's status at the moment. Police say that they've been investigating this for months and that there's one thing impeding an arrest in the case. The statute of limitations lapsed for this case in 2016. Still, they are asking anyone with any information to talk to an investigator. The number to call is 502-921-1000.
Also new tonight, a former Christian Academy of Louisville coach has been indicted on sexual misconduct charges. A grand jury indicted Clarence Moore on 2 counts of rape and 4 counts of sexual abuse. Investigators say from November 2022 until last month, Moore was sexually abusing a minor he was giving private basketball lessons. His bond was set at $50,000 in Jefferson County Court. He'll be arraigned on July 24th.
And we have continuing coverage here today. The suspect in the murder of a Marion County, Kentucky sheriff's deputy has been charged with murder. Orlando Mitchell is accused of killing Deputy John Durham during an inmate transport from the hospital. The arrest report says that as Durham went to let Mitchell out of the transport van, Mitchell used his handcuff chain to strangle Durham. The prosecutor's office announced that they're seeking the death penalty against Mitchell.
Here's a deputy who's been in the job, knows what he's doing, done the job for that's almost his specialty for 38 years. And in a brief second, this alleged killer turned on him and on video executed him.
A special judge is being requested to handle Mitchell's case in the killing of Deputy John Durham. Mitchell is also charged with robbery resulting in serious bodily injury and escape. It's a major milestone in women's health. Today, the Food and Drug Administration approving the first over-the-counter birth control pill.
Alexis Jones shares more about the changes and what they could mean for women.
Typically, you would need prescription for birth control, but starting as soon as next year, you can head to your local pharmacy to pick one up from the shelf. Thursday, the FDA approved the first non-prescription birth control pill in the U.S. It's called O-Pill.
You take one pill every day. It has a very long and well-established safety and effectiveness record.
Kelly Blanchard, president of IBIS Reproductive Health, says the oral contraceptive was first approved as a prescription in 1973. Now it would be available to people of all ages. Blanchard says O-Pill is also affordable and covered by insurance, which removes barriers to access.
Like having to see a doctor, getting off time from work, getting off time from school, finding childcare, the cost of the visit, all of those things.
The FDA says the mini pill will be available in stores and online. People who want to grab the medication off store shelves will have to wait a little bit longer. In Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS11 on your side.
Experts say the pill must be taken at the same time every day. If it isn't taken within a 3-hour window, they advise a backup method. And starting this month, a new law in Indiana allows pharmacists, not just physicians, to prescribe birth control, such as the patch or the pill. Supporters say the measure will offer women quicker access to contraceptives, especially in areas where they struggle to get primary care. But opposing lawmakers doubted pharmacists could provide the same level of care as physicians. Pharmacists are also allowed to decline to prescribe the medication under ethical, moral, or religious grounds.
Today, the Indiana Department of Education presented new findings on COVID-19's academic impact on students. The results showing that while learning is stabilizing or recovering for many students, some targeted interventions are still needed. Some key takeaways from the analysis include about 40% of Indiana students are at or above proficiency in both math and reading. Students are continuing to accelerate learning recovery in math following the pandemic, but the rate that students are stabilizing in reading and language is varied by demographic. The students who were not proficient in either math or language before the pandemic are not recovering at the very same rate as their classmates now. But the students who were doing well in those categories are now stabilizing their rates of learning.